Introduction to RabbitMQ, a beginner's guide to message queues. What is RabbitMQ? RabbitMQ is an open-source message broker software that facilitates communication between different parts of a system by managing and routing messages. It's designed to handle high-throughput scenarios, making it a popular choice for building scalable and reliable systems. Key concepts in RabbitMQ. 1. Message queue. A message queue is a temporary storage area where messages are held until they are processed. It allows different components of a system to communicate asynchronously. 2. Producer. A producer is any application or service that sends messages to the RabbitMQ server. Producers create messages and push them to the server's queue. 3. Consumer. A consumer is an application or service that receives messages from the queue. Consumers retrieve messages from the queue and process them. 4. Queue. A queue is a buffer that stores messages. In RabbitMQ, queues hold messages until they are consumed by a consumer. 5. Exchange. An exchange is a routing mechanism that determines how messages should be distributed to queues. RabbitMQ supports different types of exchanges, such as direct, fan-out, topic, and headers. 6. Binding. Binding is the connection between an exchange and a queue. It defines the rules for how messages should be routed from an exchange to a queue. Verse 7. Routing key is a piece of information that helps exchanges determine which queue should receive the message. How RabbitMQ works. 1. Publishing messages. Producers send messages to an exchange. The exchange uses the routing key and binding rules to determine the appropriate queue for the message. Routing messages. The exchange routes the message to one or more queues based on the routing key and the binding set up between the exchange and the queues. 3. Consuming messages. Consumers retrieve messages from the queues. Once a message is retrieved, it is removed from the queue. 4. Acknowledging messages. After a message is successfully processed, the consumer sends an acknowledgement to RabbitMQ. This tells RabbitMQ that the message can be removed from the queue. RabbitMQ features. 1. Reliability. RabbitMQ supports features like message durability and acknowledgements to ensure messages are not lost. 2. Scalability. RabbitMQ can be scaled horizontally by adding more nodes to a cluster, allowing it to handle increasing loads. 3. Flexibility. With multiple types of exchanges and routing options, RabbitMQ can be configured to support a variety of messaging patterns. 4. Management interface. RabbitMQ provides a web-based management interface that allows you to monitor and manage queues, exchanges, and bindings. Use cases for RabbitMQ. 1. Decoupling applications. RabbitMQ helps in separating different parts of an application, making them more independent and easier to manage. 2. Load balancing. By distributing messages across multiple consumers, RabbitMQ helps in balancing the load and improving system performance. 3. Asynchronous processing. RabbitMQ supports asynchronous communication, allowing applications to handle long-running tasks without blocking other processes. 4. Reliable messaging. With features like message acknowledgements and durability, RabbitMQ ensures that messages are reliably delivered even in the face of failures. Getting started with RabbitMQ. 1. Installation. RabbitMQ can be installed on various operating systems, including Linux, Windows, and macOS. It's available as a package or can be deployed